Hey there, fantasy football fanatics, and welcome to another episode of Fantasy Focus with the Three Frosted Mugs. Before we start the show, I do want to take a moment to recognize Veterans Day and say thank you to all those who have served and continue to serve in the military, placing their lives in harm's way. We certainly appreciate your courage and bravery and supporting the thought of freedom that stands in this country.
Allowing us to do what we do every day.
I personally don't have like a dad that was in the... Do you guys... Is your parents in the military?
I
or
had a few people in the family that served, and certainly, you respect, whether it's in the family or outside of the family, but you respect what they, what they do, and you don't realize, until you sit and actually think about it on days like this, what going to war is and fighting for your country is. I mean, it's the epitome of bravery.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my grandfather fought in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, so I'm very proud of him, and I always tell people he's my big hero in life. So yeah, certainly today you take the time to reflect on just being able to do something like this, voice your opinions in complete freedom and not have to worry about anything or who's going to think what. So we're very blessed, and not a day goes by that I'm not very proud to be an American. So and that's because of the men and women in this armed services. So thanks.
How could I forget Pop? Yeah, thank you, Pop. He's up there. He was in the Korean War. All right, well, now let's move on, right? We're back to talk about Week 10, do a little recap of that, and then, of course, what's coming up in Week 11. Before we also get started, we definitely want to congratulate the winner of the Pick 3 Plus. It was MGR, is that right?
MGR 44, won again?
MGR 44, yeah, he's won once already, right?
MGR, you're hot, buddy.
You're going to get a second mug from the Three Frosted Mugs, as well as a gift card to Famous Dave's Barbecue.
So you can now double fist tasty Bud Light.
Well, who's going to hold your barbecue, though? Major?
Yeah,
Is that how you would say the name? Major?
Somebody will feed it to him.
Major?
Yeah, something like that.
Could just be his initials.
It's possible. Maddie. Congratulations.
Maddie.
And you can play Pick 3 Plus by accessing our website on the intranet, www.threefrostedmugs.com. Look for the Pick 3 Plus section, and you can create, register, or if you already have registered, go in and make sure you put those picks in. And again, that's 3 QBs, 3 running backs, 3 offensive teams, top scoring game of the week, and a tiebreaker. Well, now Week 10 is behind us. Week 11 is ahead of us. A lot of injuries occurred. A lot of key fantasy players were affected. Chad, Brian, let's get into this madness.
Let's do it. Top QBs last week.
Yep, let's go into it.
Some guy by the name of Aaron Rodgers. All he did was throw 6 touchdowns in the first half.
Who is that?
I mean, he could have probably torched them for 9 touchdowns if he really wanted to.
Oh, they definitely pulled back the reins in the second half. I think they went for a couple solid drives to start, but yeah, he was unbelievable. And, I actually listened to an interview with him on the radio coming in here today, and he was talking about, they're like, we're in a special zone, this, that, and the other. He goes, if you look at some of the catches, a lot of them were short throws where, a lot of run after the catch, and they just had everything going. The Bears looked like a Division III squad out there.
They're terrible. They look worse than Dallas's defense last year. Let's see, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning, all he did was throw 5 touchdowns with 2 pickles, but once he got going, he just abused the Oakland Raiders. And Tony Romo coming off of, being out and definitely in a lot of pain. Of course, he got a lot, speaking of yards after the catch, Des Bryant helped him out on that end, so it's not like he had to throw the ball. And plus, Dallas, I don't know how many yards they rushed for, but they rushed all over the Jaguars.
Manning didn't even play that fourth quarter, basically. So, I mean, those numbers are disgusting for
Speaking of, did you see his backup reaction? Did you see it? I mean, it was all over Facebook.
That was good.
I thought he was going in.
That was awesome. Like,
He grabs the helmet, and then he turns around to go out there, and all you can see is the 18 from behind, and he's jogging back out there for one more series. So
the sheriff.
Yeah, they were giving him a hard time about that.
That's funny. Doo-doos of last week, Andy Dalton. I think in fantasy, I've seen him have anywhere from like -2 points to +2. Either way, you were very distraught after seeing that.
It was sad to watch.
I'm glad I did not have the pleasure of watching that. Jay Cutler just threw up all over himself. He is
earning that contract, definitely.
He's definitely one of the most overrated quarterbacks. People, as long as Jay Cutler still wants to be a quarterback, there'll always be a coach that wants to coach him, and somebody will give him money. And Joe Flacco, big disappointment. Thought he would really carve up the Tennessee defense. but he didn't. Just a subpar day.
Great analysis.
Thank you.
But he did not.
Thank you.
That's awesome. We're moving into running backs.
Running backs, Marshawn Lynch, I mean, he went beast mode.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what else do I need to say? He ran like Marshawn Lynch runs. I mean, he ran like he had something to prove, and he wanted to run somebody over every play. I think he looked for somebody to run over and then looked for the end zone. I think that's his first two initial
5
reads.
yards to the left just to go after someone.
Yeah, Justin Forsett, maybe that's a reason why Joe Flacco didn't have such a good day, because they were running the ball successful. And C.J. Anderson, big day in that Denver offense. I think when Monte Ball comes back, I don't think he's going to have but maybe a change of pace role, because you got C.J. Anderson, Ronnie Hillman. I even like that Juwan Thompson
Hillman's
kid.
injured, I think, now.
Well, Hillman's got a sprained foot, but we'll see. He's been their best back since. And to be honest with you, Ball wasn't really setting the world on fire earlier on this season. So
that's what I'm saying.
they're definitely a back by committee.
We were definitely giving it to Hillman before. Like a couple weeks ago, we were talking about that.
Yeah, I think Ball's he's got an uphill battle from here on out to try to get back in that rotation. Doo-doo running backs, Sean Green. Did you put him on there? Because I don't even think he's a starter there. So Sean Green, didn't expect a lot out of him anyway. Bishop Sankey's taking over the reins there. Lamar Miller, for his standards, had a subpar game. I think he got injured or had a shoulder injury during that game.
He was coming in with an issue to begin with.
Exactly. So Lamar Miller, not such a good game. And Reggie Bush, coming back off an injury. He got injured again. It's going to be one of them things with Bush at his age. I think he's close to 30. He's going to be a guy that you're going to expect this. I'll put him in the category with D'Angelo Williams and Jonathan Stewart.
Jonathan Stewart, yeah.
Yeah.
Both Carolina backs.
They're going to be injured all the time. Now, when they're in there, you're going to get something special. You're going to have an above-average back when they're in there. So, yeah, those were your doo-doo running backs.
All right. Wide receivers.
Top wide receivers last week. Jordy Nelson. He's
on my team.
Yeah, we talked about when Roethlisberger was throwing all those touchdowns. You're going to have more than one, more than two people that reap the benefits of that. Jordy Nelson reaped the benefits of Aaron Rodgers throwing for all those touchdowns. Des Bryant, we spoke on him earlier. A lot of yards after the catch. He's just a freak.
He's on my other team.
Yeah, he's playing really good right now, and I think most of those yardage, I think probably all of them came in one quarter, so that's pretty impressive. And Jordan Matthews, a little bit of a sleeper, kid out of Vanderbilt. He big week for him with Philly.
Yeah, that was last night. Yeah, he lit it up. Sanchez and him look good together.
And that could be. I mean, if Jordan Matthews continues to play like this, you get Macklin on the other side. That's tough.
Macklin didn't even really participate last night. Like, they didn't need him. Like, Jordan Matthews and
he wanted to buy. We resting up.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the Eagles. I don't, like I said, Chad. I think you could stand back there and throw 2 touchdowns with that offense.
And that defense playing the way they do in special teams. When you got Darren Sproles returning,
they put up like They put up like 35, 40 in the one league. I had I had the defense, and I was like, oh well, I lost this week. And then they got to within 3. They had like 35, 36 points at one time. I was like, you got to be kidding me. 9 sacks, 8 sacks. What was it? 9 sacks.
9
last
sacks.
night?
And he got sacked 9 times. Little Ferris Bueller. Yeah, but they're playing good right now. We'll touch on them a little bit when we get into 3 frosted mugs. Doo-doo wide receivers. AJ Green. We're just putting the whole doo-doo category. The Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, that was mainly because Andy Dalton.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the Cleveland Browns are legit. They got a good D. So let's show them props as well. Sammy Watkins, subpar, and Michael Floyd. Michael Floyd is, if you've still got him in your league, it would probably be wise to drop him. Drew Stanton is going to, it appears that he likes to target Brown. And then, with Fitzgerald, with him coming on, kind of playing the way he is. Michael Floyd's boom or bust. He's at best a wide receiver 4 or 5 each week. So it would not be a bad move if you decided to drop him at this point in the season, because right now you probably already know where your team is going. And if you're not in the playoffs, then who cares? Don't worry about it. But if you are, if there's somebody else better out there,
pick them up. Pick them up. All right, tight ends.
Top tight end is Jimmy Graham. We'll run through these quick. Jimmy Graham, one of the best in the leagues. Julius Thomas, one of the best in the leagues. Greg Olson, one of the best in the league. Not going to spend much time telling you how great you already know they are. Doo-doo performances. Travis Kelce. It was a little subpar for him, but that game right there was a lot about defense. That was two good teams going at it, two really good defenses. Martellus Bennett, I'm just going to say the Bears. They suck. And Larry Donnell, subpar game.
All right, defenses. You mentioned one of them. Top defenses.
Yeah, Philly was fantastic.
Eagles, and then Cardinals. How about scored 21 points?
My Cardinals.
I mean, one
my
after
Cardinals.
another. It was ridiculous.
Well, Patrick Peterson got burned on a bad defensive holding call, and he was really upset about it. And then the very next play, he goes over there and makes that pick six, and it's
He's one of the top three in the game.
He's phenomenal. He really is. He's a stud, and
he's awesome.
No, he just got a contract, right? Wrapped up with Cardinals, didn't he?
Yeah, he should have. I know their quarterback just got one in time.
I think he got one last year. I think they've wrapped him up. Doo-doo team, Panthers. They suck. They're terrible. Their offense is terrible. Their defense is terrible. They pretty much were on the up and up last year and then gutted that team for God knows why. So
Cam Newton's hurt.
Yeah,
he's banged up. He's got rib issues. They said he's got a foot issue now.
Yeah, well, they're losing. Of course he does.
Real quick, your experience. I mentioned injuries in the intro, and you're experiencing that right now with Nick Foles.
Yeah, Nick Foles is.
So what are you gonna do, man? You gonna?
I don't know. It's probably gonna wait and see to what Mark Sanchez does, because if Foles isn't gonna come back till week 16, but the Eagles are still rolling, you don't want to ruin that continuity with what's going on. But if Foles has only got him at 500 while he's in there. I mean, if Sanchez only has him at 500, then Foles, I think, is going to come back.
Well, he's 1.5-0 right now.
Exactly. So, I mean, it's hard to argue with that, as of right now. But I'll wait it out and see. If you've got him on your now, if he does come back, it'll either be for your second round of the playoffs or the final. So it's a toughie.
Is Foles that much more talented than Sanchez?
I think people are throwing a lot of weight on that first seat where he didn't. He threw
phenomenal.
New picks, right? He threw no picks.
Yeah, it's. I guess the jury's still out on Foles.
I like Sanchez. I think that, this is obviously a quarterback-friendly system. I think he played for a defensive-minded coach in New York, and I'm interested to see. I don't know that he gives up the job. I don't think he gives up the job. I think he will be their starter in the playoffs because they're definitely going to go. Them and Dallas, I think, are
out of the East.
Well, they were saying too, like because they practice at such a high pace, he was getting a lot of time with the first team as it was, even with Foles there. So they don't have that awkward phase of transitioning into being the starter.
Yeah, he was talking last night when he was talking with Gruden, just the big difference between coming to a team where offense is the priority with Chip Kelly instead of coming from Rex Ryan, where it was all about that defense, no trouble. Or no offense, should I say.
That's right.
All right, well, let's move into Week 11, and I want you guys to give me your top, your sleeper, and then if you want to give me a little bit of reasoning, that's cool.
Yeah, I can kind of roll through them fairly quick.
All right, so let's move into, how about quarterbacks, Chad? Give me your top and your sleeper.
All right, I'm going to go with my three tops. Robert Griffin III. They're playing at home against the Bucks. I don't need to say any more. I'm going to go with Ben Roethlisberger playing against the Titans defense. I mean, I think after the performance they had against the Jets, I think they're going to look to come out and score some points against the Titans, and I think they're going to get it done. And Colin Kaepernick, they're going to the Giants. The Giants have a pretty terrible secondary. I look for Cap to have a good game. Then I'm going to go with my sleepers, Austin Davis. I just think that I think that they're going to get blown out, but I think he's going to have a lot of garbage time. Now, talking about a normal performance, I don't think it's going to be that great, but fantasy implications, I think he's going to get some yardage, have some touchdowns, plus a couple picks. But I still do I like Denver winning that ball game. And Zach Mettenberger, again, I look for there to be some points in this Tennessee Steeler game on Monday night. I think the Steelers are going to come out, put up a lot of points. Again, the Titans are going to be playing a little bit of garbage time.
Okay. All right. Brian, what about your top and sleeper?
Obviously, I like, a couple of mine up here are obvious, but Tom Brady. Indianapolis tends to give up a lot of yards. They tend to get in a lot of shootouts. The last time you saw Tom Brady, he was absolutely making a mockery of a really good Denver defense.
Yeah.
I think they continue that, and people like LaFell continue to step up as they develop that offense even further. Aaron Rodgers, enough said, he's a complete stud. He's just going to pick up where he left off. And Ben Roethlisberger, I was actually in Tennessee a couple weeks ago and saw the Titans play the Texans, and that defense is nothing special at all. I think Roethlisberger rebounds, and Bryant and Brown get on the right track. And then as far as sleepers go, the kid from Washington, Robert Griffin, I think he should be okay against Tampa Bay. He got his feet wet a couple weeks ago. He's got a bye week to get healthy. I think he really will gel even further. And then Hoyer, and Josh Gordon comes back in 2 weeks. That offense is going to get even better. So I think Hoyer's continuing to pick up steam. We talked